Howdy, it's Bex and welcome back to my writing channel. This time I thought I'd talk to you about writing festivals because they've got so much to offer. So without any preamble, let's just get into the list. Firstly, I'm going to counter the advice that I've seen online. I'm going to tell you to go alone. Now, I've seen people say go with a friend, pick a reading buddy or pick another writerly friend if you've got one that lives near you. I kind of disagree. Now, maybe I'm a bit biased because I've only ever gone by myself, the handful of writing festivals that I've been to, but I've always found it easier to throw myself in if I'm by myself, because if I'm not spending all that time talking to somebody that I know about other stuff, I am focusing on what's going on around me and kind of taking all the other people in as well, because if they are my primary focus rather than whoever it is that I've brought along. So be brave and go by yourself. My second point kind of leads on from that. It's go ahead and meet new people. What's the point in being there if you're not going to talk to people? Like, I find it great to find people who are just like me, find my people and talk to people in the writing community face to face. It's very rare that we get to do that unless you're lucky enough to have a writing group. I've got two now in my life, but before that the only thing I had were the people I met at these writing festivals. So for example, the UK Ghost Story Writing Festival in Derby, and I really took the opportunity to, I don't want to say the word network because it sounds like I'm doing it just for future prospects or how they can help me. It's not really the case. Like, the people that I've managed to swap information with, generally speaking, we've kept in contact in one way or another, even if it's just a few messages, asking how things are going, sort of checking in with each other. Now, of course, there are people along the way who I've met who've proofread my work or maybe been a beta reader or that sort of stuff, but generally it's not about that for me. I can go find that elsewhere, like on Writers HQ, for example, or other forums. So I think that these are the connections you need to make for your sanity rather than anything else. Thirdly, fight off imposter syndrome. Some people suffer with it, some people don't. I go up and down. One minute I feel like I belong there and this is exactly what I should be doing, and other minutes, particularly if something's made me uncomfortable or I don't understand something or I don't know where I'm going, that's when the imposter syndrome hits, because it attacks you when you're already vulnerable. And I'm assuming a lot of people are the same way as me. I'm pretty sure there are famous authors out there, people on the bookshelf behind me, who feel the imposter syndrome quite strongly. So try and forget about it if you can. It might not be easy, but just do your best to shrug it off and move on and spend more time in the moment rather than lots of time in your head. Number 4, hopefully at whatever festival you're at, because this is a writing festival or a book festival, there will be books on sale, and so please bring some sort of money. Obviously you can bring your card, some places might prefer cash. Be aware that because of some vendors might have, those like portable little card machines, the signal on them are sometimes a bit rubbish, so I would advise maybe just bring in like a tenner or a 20 quid just as backup in your pocket in case the card machine's being a bit funny or it takes forever, that kind of thing. And let's face it, we all love books clearly, so it's very difficult to go to a writing festival, even if the whole point of you being there is not to buy books, if it's to learn, but it's very difficult to ignore the books even if you've told yourself you've got lots on your to be read shelf. The last time I checked, my to be read pile, which you can see most of it behind me, was about 125 or something. Since then I have bought and removed books that I don't want to read again because they weren't kind of to my taste. Maybe I'll do a video at some point talking about the books that I've bought in the last few months and which ones I thought were really good and which ones were not bad. Like, I've not had a really terrible book, but I've had ones where I didn't finish them, which I don't like that. I don't like having do not finishes because it feels like you've wasted your time, but there you go. But what I'm reading right now is really, really good, and maybe I'll do a little short on that one on its own. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Number 5, choose your seminar, panel, workshop wisely. It's all well and good if they're talking about something that you enjoy, and that's probably why you've picked it, but also be aware if the type of event that you're going to is your cup of tea. Personally, I don't get a lot of chance in my day job to learn from others. I obviously am teaching others, and so whilst I don't mind seminars where people talk to me, Obviously a lot of meetings are like that, and assemblies where I'm with the children, it's lots of let's talk at you sort of thing, and it's boring. I would prefer to be actively involved, so I pick as many workshops as possible, whereas I know I've met people at festivals where they've said, oh, you know, I'm a bit exhausted by this point, I've got workshop fatigue because I've picked too many. And maybe it's different because of, for me, I've only ever managed to do 2 days for a writing festival because of work, and so therefore to me 1 day of just workshop is perfect. I love that, and I come home with like a notebook filled with ideas that I want to go and use. And I have been to panels and I have been to sort of seminars where it's one person talking, and I do love a Q&A because obviously that is a little bit interactive, you know, so a lot of panels tend to have a bit of Q&A at the end, which is great. Sometimes if I find the seminar was not quite what I was expecting, I feel a little bit like I'm stuck there because it's impolite, in my opinion, to just get up halfway through and bob off. So then I sit there going, well, what am I going to sort of do with the rest of my time if this isn't quite what I thought it was going to be? Whereas with a workshop, you are being given ideas and it's up to you where you take that, like what direction are you going to spin those ideas in. This actually brings me to my next one: be prepared for some disappointment. No matter which festival you're at, you're gonna pick something where either the topic wasn't quite what you thought it was gonna be, or the topic is what you think it was gonna be. The person delivering it isn't quite what you thought they were gonna be. Maybe it's just their talking style just doesn't interest you. It could be that they're not that charismatic. I've had a couple of seminars where I really wanted to know the information, but the person never quite really got round to the actual crux of the topic, and they talked round and round in circles. I know, ironic, I speak a lot as well, but they went round and round in circles and the way they spoke wasn't engaging, and actually a couple of them have been a little bit arrogant. It feels a bit like maybe they've done it because they wanted to be listened to rather than share this information. If you are at a disappointing seminar or workshop and you've obviously got your notebook handy, I would actually just make the most of your time. For example, when I've had ones that I don't think were quite what I expected, I've kept my notebook open, gone to the back, and I've either worked on a story or a piece from another workshop, or even wrote about that seminar in itself, like use that as a writing inspiration. There was one seminar where I wrote like 5 pages because the person was just so interesting to write about, far more interesting than the actual things that they were saying to us, because it didn't feel like they were teaching us anything, to be honest. It felt a little bit like an empty seminar, so the person felt a little bit like a caricature when they spoke. So I use that as inspiration. Be warned, people, if you annoy a writer or if you upset a writer, you could end up being between the pages of their next piece of work. I have no idea which number we're on at this point, but this one is just a little something if you're like me and you don't necessarily want to spend loads of money. Just bring a packed lunch, or maybe go find ahead of time somewhere you can go that is a bit cheaper. Some of the venues, there might be a bit of a limited choice because of like the couple that I've been to, they've been a nice little cafe, but it's just like one counter with a few baked goods, whether it's savoury or sweet, and it might not really be what you want for your lunch, and you're paying a little bit of a premium because of you're at this venue. They expect that you're going to find it trickier to go and find somewhere in the time that you've got, because of bearing in mind you're going to have some gaps between your sessions, and the ones I've been to, they usually build in like a 45-minute or an hour lunch somewhere, but you might not. And even if you do, everyone's going to rush to that cafeteria at the same time as you. There might not be a lot of stuff left that you want, or it might take forever to get your order, and that's not the fault of the vendor. They're doing their best, but a lot of people are going to be rushing in at one go. So when I've gone, lucky for me, the couple I've been to have always been in Derby, and I know Derby quite well. There's not a lot of stuff in Derby, but there are like cafes, and you know, even somewhere like Greg's, like Dependable Greg's is just around the bend from both of those writer events that I've been to. And so whilst I'm not discrediting the cafes etc at these venues, they're great, they're fine, it might be a bit more expensive, whereas I know Greg's can be relatively cheap. I also know there's some independent cafes not far from there where I can go and grab myself a cup of tea and it's going to be cheaper, and it might even actually be quicker in the long run to pop to that place and then come back with your takeaway cup rather than waiting in the massive queues because everyone's kind of descended upon them at once. My last one is one that I've not really had much experience with myself because, as I said, I've gone to the ones in Derby, mostly because of not having a lot of time to go elsewhere. But if you are someone who has travelled a decent way and you are spending the night, you've got plenty of time to go and explore the location around you. Now, even though I've not had much experience with having to go to a new place, a new location, I actually found in Derby there was some places that I hadn't really explored before, even though I live really close to it. For example, the Silk Mill. I hadn't looked inside the Silk Mill, even though it's a museum. There's lots of things to go look at for free, and I'd never looked at those before, so it was nice the first time I did a writing festival in there to just in between sessions go and have a read through the information. And on other writing festivals I've gone down streets in Derby that I wouldn't have done before because it's not part of the central hub of where everything is, and it was just nice to have a little bit of explore. If it's somewhere that is brand new to you, please go and do the same thing. It doesn't have to be in between sessions, it could be before the day begins or at the end of the day or the night before. Go out for dinner, even if you're by yourself. Try not to be afraid, okay? Explore things by yourself. Enjoy just kind of taking things in around you, and who knows, maybe you'll find some inspiration for your next piece of writing. Alrighty then, so they are my tips for if you choose to go to a writing festival, and I do encourage you, maybe this is the year that you'll go to a writing festival for the first time. If you've got any other tips, please pop them down in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Okay, thanks, bye. It's getting a little bit fussy because he can hear noises downstairs. Come in, my darling. Noises against the books. Anyway, I'm getting off topic again. I should really stick to the sheet. I've reheated that and that is stone cold again. Lovely. Alright. Can you hear the noise? That's my husband working downstairs. Okay, thanks, bye. Okay, thanks, bye.